something else. I want to do 2 more cards. This kind of just shows us where you're going in the future with all of this, okay?
Okay.
They're saying that your dreams are coming true. This is the bridge. It's like you're on the bridge right now. You're ready to just take that leap, okay? And then evolution, that's always the place of evolving to your next level. So I would say, Tanya, the dream of you having a partner and having that love together, and the dream of you, really being extremely successful in your business to help people to find themselves. You're definitely moving along in that, and it's happening. And there's awakening. I'm hearing in about 4 to 6 months there's going to be some changes that's going to radically change where you're at with this. So get a little bit of a business plan on that. All right? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, I want to thank our volunteer Tanya for getting an angel reading with Laura, and that was terrific. And you hit some things there, because I do kind of know Tanya. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool. She got it. So when a person comes, that's what they expect to get, at least from you, and maybe similar angel readings or readers. And you also do other things. You do paranormal investigations, that is hauntings, ghosts, and you go into locations and you take groups of people.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
I have always been intrigued by the paranormal, obviously, because seeing the angel when I was very young also opened up doorways for seeing spirits and spirit guidance, but then also ghosts that looked a little different. I was noticed that they didn't have a certain aura around them or energy around them, and it came to me very early that it was because they were they haven't transferred or transcended on.
They were stuck.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Earthbound energy.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's always been intriguing or interesting to me to help, because it's just sad when you see somebody who hasn't moved on. And I've talked to them throughout my life, and it's just, I feel like ghosts are just like you and I sitting here. They just they happen to be, they don't have a physical body now, but they still are very much so human, and it's,
There's somebody's brother, sister, mother, someone, family member who's stuck and needs to be moved on. Spirit releasement is what we call it in the spiritualist church.
Right.
And so you do, but what are the locations you do? Tours of some type, or explain those?
Sometimes I go tours. I've worked with Sherry Breakthrough Haunted Heartland Tours with the OSR, the Reformatory at Mansfield.
Okay.
I've gone
Ooh, that's crazy place.
It is.
That's crazy.
Yes, yes. That's a place. That's probably one of the only areas that places that I've got attacked physically.
It's a crazy place.
Yes.
Getting attacked is that's a standard norm. Yeah.
Yes. But I found a lot of the investigations to be just out in the woods or cemetery to be some of the most fascinating places to study.
Where are some of the places you've investigated?
There's a cemetery over in Summit County that was very intriguing, that has 900 skeletal remains that are, unfortunately, they don't have markers. And that place is very sad because they don't have recognition. And so there are a lot of souls there that are stuck, and I work there quite a bit to help help them so they can find that place to move on, to find that light within themselves.
Now you also do, is it the theater in Akron?
Or this is K.E.T.S. It's a very fascinating place. It has tunnels underneath. Underneath it goes underneath the city of Kent. And it has quite a history. It has a brothel. It had a brothel as part of its history.
Wow. I went to Kent. I didn't know about this.
Yes. It had speakeasy there. And they do have a resident ghost that is a janitor that spends some time there, quite often shows himself. We have discovered over 20 souls there that are walking within the Kent stage.
Right. Now this is also not only psychically, but you do as far as like EMPs and photography and other things, right? You do the whole scientific aspect as well. You try to collect data, correct? Okay, and the group again is called?
It's called S.I.G.H.T.S. It's Spiritual Insight Ghost Hunting Team. And it's a unique group. We go in, there's people who are very sensitive, open to the psychic realm. So we go in from the spiritual insight, but the ghost hunting team is where we go in for the technical proof, you know, of what we're capturing. And I've found that for myself that the ghost box has been one of the best tools to utilize. We use a
ghost
radio.
box. Oh, okay. Is that like I've seen on other TV shows, but we're not going to mention, but they have something where the ghost actually talks? You can hear a voice? You get that?
There's a couple different types. What we work with is the transmission of the radio frequency that spans the dial, the AM, the FM. And we utilize that as a carrier.
Okay.
And what happens is we found voices carry onto the radio frequency over top of the announcements or into that dead time with the frequency, and you can hear very clear messages.
Amazing. That is interesting. I know that there are some people who have apps on their iPods or iPhones or something that they pick up words too, which is, we had a lady bring one to church and it was like, whoa. So there's lots of new technology out there. Sounds like you're on top of it. So what is your most frightening experience you've had? You said the Mansfield?
Mansfield was very frightening. Well, what happened there was one of the volunteers at Mansfield asked me to go into an area where there's been a couple attacks to women. She wanted me to get my impression, and so I agreed, of course, and we went into, they call it the toilet room, which is where they have the porcelain from the cells in this one big pile on the side. And so they took me up there, and I felt immediately up the stairwells into this little tower area an entity that was pretty strong. So of course I'm intrigued, and I needed to go visit to see who this was. It's a very large entity. He was frightening looking. He had no teeth and had a very strong focus and demeanor about him. And I captured that he was a tower guard. What happened was, he started using some profanity and anger towards me and yelling at me, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just talking. I'm not trying to provoke you. You know, what's wrong? And he's like, just started screaming at me to get out, and I'm like, okay, we can do that. He called some friends of mine some choice names, and I'm like, I will leave you alone. He said, if you don't get out of here now, we're going to do battle, and don't come back.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, and I left, and I was like this, going down the stairs, and I was okay, and I was explaining what was happening, and it kind of the story got around. Well, one of the other workers wanted to find out and go back into that confrontation to get, you know, a little bit more information, and I didn't feel really good about it, but he was starting to provoke me a little bit, this worker, like it was like I made up the story perhaps, or you know, he just wasn't believing me, and I guess I went into that little bit of ego, you know, which is never a good thing with this world, never a good thing, and I got a little bit like, I'll prove to you that this man here does exist, so I went back, and unfortunately what happened was when I went back into the room, it was totally dark, I lost my flashlight, something happened, it was like totally pitch black. I felt myself kind of bumping up against this wall on one side, and I checked myself, lost a little bit of balance, but I did you know, I was fine. And then all of a sudden I felt this pressure on my back and was slammed. I mean, literally slammed into all this porcelain, and it just broke up. I was bloody.
Oh my goodness.
And the person that was behind me that could barely see it, but she, you know, she could see it kind of through other people's flares or flashlights. She said it looked almost, she said it didn't even look real, how it happened, because it was like real slow motion at first, and all of a sudden very violent.
Wow. Did you have any marks left
Besides
the cuts?
Well, I had a scar on my knee for quite some time. My knee was messed up for a while, for about a year. My jeans were ripped. Everything was just, you know, kind of tattered, and it was a nice message to me. I heard in my head very clearly after I confronted him. I went to confront him. I was angry. I was like, "Where are you? Where are you?" And I chased him down. I couldn't find him. And then it's like when everything cleared and I'm just looking at myself, I heard him clearly say, I told you if you come back we would do battle. And that was my message to me, and I've left it that way always, that I will never, ever confront again. You know, be very respectful. That's their space. It's not mine. I'm intruding. I'm an intruder.
Yeah.
So I need to be very, very cautious and respectful, and not to allow that ego get to me, because it's not about what we can prove. It's about how we can help.
Yeah, how we can help. Well, that's an interesting story. Well, we're going to go ahead now. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead now, and we're going to go into the audience, and we're going to have the audience ask you questions and have you answer.
Great.
All right, well, we'll start with the questions. Go ahead.
Hi. Just yesterday morning I had a dream, and I was dancing in a circle with angels, and during this dance a woman crosses through the circle and says, "Hi, Marty," which is my name, and I looked at her and I thought she was someone that I knew or recognized, like my sister-in-law who passed away, and I thought, no, and I thought, no, it's not her. So we continue to dance. I reach out and hold on to this angel in front, and then I go back, and the girl with the dark hair is behind me, reaching for me, and it was like she wanted me to complete the circle with her, to finish. And I got a message on Facebook last night that my sister-in-law who passed away, sister died, who had dark hair and was there. And I was kind of wondering if I kind of witnessed her crossing.
It sounded that way when you were speaking. It's like you were in that angelic realm, and oftentimes I feel, I'm witnessing angels helping a person move on to that next level or awakened level. And it was very beautiful how you brought forward the dance also, because oftentimes when I'm seeing the colors, it is like a dancing flow of energies. That's very beautiful. Yeah.
The other thing is, what's my angel's name?
I see a lot of yellow around you, which I witnessed Servio coming forward. With the yellow energy, it's awakened. It happened. We have 3 different levels. We have the physical, the spiritual, and the emotional. When I'm seeing the spiritual level with yellow, it is more about awakening to a higher level of, let's just call it awareness. So it seems, have you, like the last 3 months, witnessed or been aware more of spirit around you?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. It seems like the last 3 months have been very powerful for you in the spiritual life force.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have another question for you.
I wanted to ask, whenever you're doing the paranormal investigations and you encounter a spirit that's not so nice, can you call on your angels to protect you and immediately stop spirit from attacking or being mean?
That is an excellent question. Before I ever walk anywhere into any investigation, I always consciously bring forward the white light around me, which is I work with Archangel Michael.